Okay, who was this last minute surge of things that came in? From where?
From everywhere. Lou, your meeting is public right now.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm telling you, but I mean, so we have somebody. We have one main one, which is from the CCRB, the Citizen Complaint Review Board, and they'll likely they may already be in the meeting right now as we speak. So we'll figure that out. But I can read that during my report. But right now, I'm just more focused on trying to get the meeting flowing. So just bear with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute really quickly. Thank you.
Sandra Munoz, I see her. She's in.
I don't see my video, but I guess you can hear me. Hi,
Yeah.
guys.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Okay, and yourself?
Yeah, same here. One minute at a time. So far, okay. This minute.
Okay.
You can hear, and let me try to mute myself. My neighbors are all clapping and making the noise at 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want to hear.
Sandra, rest assured, Sandra, you will be muted in the next minute or so. I trust.
Okay, great.
Everybody will be muted except for the chair.
Yeah, I want to, before you mute me, I finally got an opportunity to read the minutes, and I don't know if you're gonna have us when we go. I guess when we get there, but there's I was at the last meeting and it doesn't have me in the minutes. Doesn't include me.
Okay. Were you at the public hearing though, or the regular meeting? Which one?
I'm sorry. Did you need something?
Yes, I did, Sandra. Were
Okay.
you at the public hearing and the meeting, or just the meeting?
I was at the last meeting in the Italian Charities.
Right, but were you at the public hearing? We had two meetings. We had a public hearing and then we had the regular meeting.
Oh, yes. I came, the meetings, I came about 7. Yeah, I think the public hearing was first.
Right. So you weren't at that.
The end.
You weren't at that meeting.
I came towards the end of the public hearing. I think I heard 1 or 2 speakers.
All right. So you don't qualify for the public hearing. You only qualify as being attended the meeting. So look and see if you were listed as there at the meeting then.
All right, let me look. Okay. All right, that's been it. I didn't realize there was 2 minutes. Here we go. Oh, I see. Public hearing and then. Oh, okay, it does list me down. Oh, no, it doesn't list me.
At either event.
So it says public hearing attendance.
Right. You weren't there at that. You're not considered there at that if you don't get there on time.
But I was at the board meeting.
At the board meeting. Okay. All right. Sandra, we're going to have to mute you now.
Okay.
Christian, where are you? Christian, you got to mute Sandra. Christian, I can't hear you. Everything's okay? Okay. Start the meeting. I will call it to order. And I don't know, should I sing, oh, say, can you? No. I won't do that. Ooh, I am tempted though. Anyway, let's move on. Chairperson's report. Okay, that gets very interesting. Let's just do something here. During my report, I have some things that I have to read, so let me get to those items. Okay. Item number 1. This is from Andrew Sokoloff Diaz. He says, I am writing this statement to call on CB4 or any individual member joining here today.
You got it. Okay. You got it. Okay.
Motion for a resolution declaring the CB4 area a disaster zone and to call on all
I can't hear
levels
Lou now. Jesus Christ. Here, okay.
of the
I
business
can't hear Lou.
community. You can't hear me? Is that what you said? Oh, okay. To call on, I lost track now. Okay, resolution motion. CB4 area to be declared a disaster zone and to call on all levels of government and the business community to immediately bring in and coordinate accessible permanent food sites across Corona and Elmhurst. We know that prior to the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, the Corona community experienced one of the highest rates of obesity, malnutrition, various other negative effects as a result of systematic neglect and disinvestment. Now that we are in the midst of this crisis, and sadly, that both Corona 11368 and Elmhurst 11373 within the CB4 district are literally the pandemic epicenter of the entire planet. Where are the additional permanent food pantries and distribution sites going to be brought in to our community? When are they going to be brought into our community? A typo on their part, whoever wrote this. Okay, based on the Food Help New York City and the map included in his statement here, the entire portion of Corona and areas of Elmhurst have no food pantries or sites. These are the densest and most affected areas with COVID-19. We cannot wait any longer, and we are late to respond to our neighbors and quite literally starving and dying, as we well know. Thank you to all the members of CB4 for all your work. It is great to see much more CB4 members attending, especially during these times. Be well. Okay, that's one of the statements. I'm finished. I will go on to the next statement.
Wait, sorry. This is Dewan Tariq. I have a quick question, sir.
Yeah, what is the question?
That statement that you read. There's a course of action required, or you're just reading a statement on someone's behalf?
No, I'm reading it on his behalf. He would like us to make a motion, which we really can't do during this video meeting.
Well, and sir, I don't mean to drag this point on and on. So who was this submitted by? Is this a private citizen or organization?
Let's see what his credentials say. His name is Andrew Skoloff Diaz, MPA, president of Together We Can Community Resource Center, Inc.
Together We Can Community. Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, it's We Can Community, We Can Community Resource Center, Inc. That's what he's the president. Together We Can, yes, Resource Inc. He says he's the co-founder and co-president, and he's the 89th Street Tenants Unidas Association and Land Use and Youth Committees public member. I don't know what his exact title is. He lists so many things, so I can't tell you. But I just told you who he was.
Okay, sir, understood. I won't drag on. I mean, if I were to, I can go. there's inconsistencies throughout every single statement that he made. But I don't want to, out of respect to you, I will not drag this on.
Okay, good. Let's move on then. Okay. Question. Someone has a question came up just now. I don't even know why I got the first question I'm not supposed to get, by the way. Okay, let's just move on here. I can't.
Lou, you have to be sure to mute everybody. You're hosting it. Just please.
Anybody. I didn't mute anybody. I can't mute them.
Which is the problem. That's the problem. You should mute people, and that's it.
Okay. I didn't mute anybody because I don't know how to do that. I'm not the host. Anyway, well, I am the host, kind of. All right, let me read the next statement, please. I have to open it up. A message from Maspeth High School. Greetings. We hope when you hear this message, you, your families, and your loved ones are safe, healthy, and most importantly, home. First off, as of March 23rd, 2020, our school community has been actively engaged in remote learning using Google Classroom platform. Students engage with the classroom teachers on a daily basis. Departments, activities collaborate virtually, and administration continuously provides support and guidance in all educational matters. In addition to the daily updates and announcements provided by faculty and support staff, Maspeth High School's guidance department continues to actively reach out to families in order to assist families in obtaining a DOE-issued iPad should they need one. Ensure students are actively engaged in remote learning daily, and be available to support students and families with emotional and academic concerns. Remote learning will continue for the remainder of the school year. We hope to receive guidance in the coming weeks as to a return to on-site instruction, alternative prom and commencement exercises. Lastly, it's official. Maspeth High School is a 2020 best high school based on the ratings that U.S. News and World Report published April 21st. Our students, parents, support staff, faculty, and administration are proud of this achievement. One final note, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected Queens at the heart of where many of our school families reside. Our school community extends its utmost gratitude and appreciation to all the essential workers providing sorely needed services during this crisis. Visit our website at www.nhs.nyc NYC daily for news updates. Stay healthy. Respectfully submitted, Mario Matos Jr., Community Liaison. Okay, that one's done. Click. Now the next one.
Lou, if I just jump in for like half a second, can you just shift your camera? Your back is
that better?
There, much better. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I forget where I am in my bedroom.
Yes. Don't worry about it. You got it.
All righty. This one's from the borough president. Am I going to be reading this or what?
Okay, so I'm receiving word that Joe is having some technical difficulty entering. So if you can just read it, that'd be great. Or if you want, what you can do, Lou, is just like continue with the rest of the agenda and the elected official portion. Maybe Joe might be able to log in since then. That's entirely up to you. But he is willing to. He just haven't connected right now.
Okay. First of all,
Actually, I just received word that Joe is in, and we can make him a panelist, so there's no need for you to read the statement just yet. And again, watch your camera, Lou.
okay. Maybe I better switch this way. Okay. All right. So now we would like to conduct a moment of silence for a board member that passed during this pandemic, Priscilla Carole, and obviously any other friends or family members of board members and that might have also passed away. We want to have a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, let's continue. Christian, you're on now.
I'm unmuted.
District Manager's report, Christian. Christian?
I'm sorry about that. I was muted for half a second there. Sorry.
Okay, District Manager's report, you're next.
Yeah, guys, sorry. So, thanks for joining in. I want to say that I have a lot of reports, but I unfortunately do not. Unfortunately, we're spending more time doing tech support than the other actually when there's anything. But I'm glad to see at least, I want to see about, well, I'll say almost more than we expected to join, and we still have more people. So thanks everybody for joining in. To be clear, I think most of my reports are going to be about how this call is going to run, but we will acknowledge the elected officials when the time comes. We will unmute one by one, and we'll do our best. As far as reports go, so look, this is where we stand. Committee Report 4, we are fully functioning as best we can. We are working from home. The calls are being filtered to myself, the staff, and board members whenever necessary. We are, to an extent, conducting our committee meetings as best we can. Two of our main functions, which is the ULIP process, is actually delayed at the time, and our liquor licenses. As many of you will know later on, we did not have a quorum during the Public Safety Committee meeting. That committee does have a pretty stern policy in that if a restaurant has any kind of violations, and they do not attend the meeting of the Public Safety Committee, it's usually an automatic no, because we cannot answer this question. That is not the case this time. Instead, what we will be doing is any liquor licenses until this whole COVID thing ends, we will only inform the state liquor authority of the status on the license, or excuse me, of any violations that we have been made aware of, but we will not be taking any formal vote. So I'm letting you know again, we are working at least in limited capacity. The main thing that we are doing above all else is to stop the spread of misinformation, right? That's something that's happening a lot. The best advice that I have for everybody is the news will come to you. Stop going on the internet looking for solutions and cures. If it exists, it will come to you. Don't spend your entire time getting engulfed by the internet or what's out there. And that's one of the main functions that we've been handling as the board, is try to streamline as much of the misinformation that's out there and using our Facebook pages and our social media conduits as the best source of information. We get all information from the city directly, the mayor's office, elected officials, local community organizations. So definitely follow us and stay in touch. To answer Andrew's, excuse me, but to answer to Andrew's email, I'll just touch it very, very briefly. Yes, in fact, there is an issue with food pantries in the district, but the one thing we don't have, and everybody will know that CB4 suffers from, is lack of I myself have been doing, and I'm working with some of our electeds and trying to find space, and that's the most difficult thing right now. While the idea of putting ourselves in a church and get taken on a huge community space sounds like a great idea, it really is, but it also puts a huge strain on the facility itself. In fact, that they have to disinfect before and after. We do have several food groups that are willing to give food, and there's one thing we don't lack is volunteers. It's just a matter of space. So I do feel that some of our electeds will speak on this as time goes by, as the evening grows, but that's the main thing. If we can get space, then we would be willing to participate. As far as what we can do monetarily, sadly, the city council stipend that we received early in the year, those who remember it, was for spending money throughout the community. One of the big provisions is that we are not allowed to use it for food. So as much as we would love to have a food bank and have CB4 sponsor dry goods and canned goods, we won't be able to monetarily purchase it. I've also considered maybe opening up the office to create a pantry evidence, but the truth is the office logistically is just very difficult to do. It's a very small opening with very limited space, and it would not be a very effective pantry. Is something better than nothing? Of course. But we're not quite there yet, and we haven't reached that point yet. I think later on, maybe we'll have somebody from the Parks Department, from the Parks Committee speak. One thing we do have, and it's the main concern that we see around the community, is of course we know the weather is getting nicer. As the weather is getting nicer, people are very quickly letting their guards down, and we're having a lot of situations where parks are little by little getting crowded. And I did speak to the NYPD on this one, and the NYPD has clearly said that they are not at the point where they're going to be enforcing just yet. We are in the informational stage right now. Vehicles will be stationed near parks to discourage park goers, or rather encourage park goers to use social distancing. But the only measure that have been taken thus far is just that. It is a car there just to try to deter the visitors. But additionally, the parks has also removed all hoops, not only nets, but actual hoops, and any kind of physical structures that would condone social sports, such as basketball and soccer. That includes soccer nets, soccer structures in FFCP, as well as hoops and nets for our park. And again, guys, I feel like, this may not be the last time I'm recording for the rest of the night. For now, for sake of continuing it going, I'll just move it on.
Are you done, Christian?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I guess this is the start of the open session that we are supposed to do alphabetically based on board members who we know are on.
Correct. Now, Lou, really quickly, one thing I do want to say is I do have several board members. To be very clear, board members who have called in via phone, we cannot acknowledge you. It's impossible for us to see you. And this is why we were encouraging to try to sign in via some kind of a PC or something. So if you are a board member and you called in, you will not be able to be acknowledged. You're going to go alphabetically, and only those who are physically in the room will be able to speak as Lou unmutes you one by one. Go ahead.
Okay. Karen Abreu. Is she there, Christian, on your list?
Christina's also looking. Let's get maybe like a 30-second in between each member, if that's okay with you, while we look. Thanks.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Because we also have phone numbers, not all our names. Thanks.
Okay.
No, go on, Karen. I don't see Karen.
Okay. Lucy Cesar Scully.
Lucy is in fact here. You can unmute her.
Here.
Okay, you got 2 minutes.
Okay, Lucy, you have anything, any statements?
No. I'm good.
Okay. David Chong.
Nothing.
Charo Chung Chin. No. Linda Corral.
Linda is here. We'll unmute her in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Nothing to share at this time, but I also just wanted to note that Matt is on, but he is dialed in.
Okay, yes, we did see it. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate that.
Next one. Erica Cruz.
No go.
Okay, let me go to number 8. Judy DeAndrea. I don't know why she's still on the list. She's not on the board anymore, right?
You may just have an outdated list, but yeah, that's possible.
Okay. Michelle Dunstan.
Keep it moving.
Okay. Ariala Espanol.
Yeah, that's Ari Espinal. She is in.
I am in.
Ari, what's going on?
I appreciate my name change during COVID. Um,
You're welcome.
thank you. Nothing really is going on. You know, Francisco's out there. I'm working beside him as a district leader, trying to do the most we can in Elmhurst. So if anybody wants to help out or see what we're doing, just call his office and email. So thank you. Thank you for all you guys are doing as well.
Same to you, Ari. We're trying our best. Lou, really quickly, maybe, I mean, the fact is that the list of board members who are in right now, visible, are at the bottom of the page. So maybe you could just go with those and not go from the top of the list. There wouldn't be
Why don't
anybody.
I get to the bottom of the page first of all? Let's.
Okay.
If you want to read them, you can.
No, I mean, we're just going. No, we're just going in the same order. So no, like no, you can as you were. That's fine.
Okay.
Chris, I just got a text from Vincent. He's also on the line, but
Okay.
he just wanted me to let you guys know. Thank you.
You got it, guys. Thank you so much. Yo, so FYI, everybody, we can see your names, but unfortunately, for those who are not physically in, we can only see your phone numbers. And again, we're trying our best. We thought we had this in the bag, but it's just some inconsistencies with the software. But we do see you guys. We just see phone numbers on a lot of you. But thank you, Vinny, for joining. And of course, thanks to all the board members who joined. I know a lot of you are in. Thank you.
Carolina Giampino. She was here.
I'm muted. Hey guys, nothing to report. I just want to wish everyone health and hopefully everyone's doing okay and staying healthy. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Kristen Gonzalez.
No,
No?
no, go ahead.
Okay. Jennifer Gutierrez.
No, sir.
Vincent Lorcella.
And again, he is here, but he is unable to speak at this time because he's dialing in. He's just listening.
Okay. James Lisa.
Same.
Salvatore Lombardo.
No, nothing.
Patricia Martin.
No,
Sylvia Martin.
no, sir.
Matthew McElroy.
Again, he is in. He is with us via phone.
Okay. Rovina McGowan.
Tried dialing her in, but she didn't pick up when we called her. But no, she's not in here.
Okay. Edgar Moya.
No,
Ruby Muhammad.
no, sir.
Sandra Munoz.
Sandra Munoz is here. Let's unmute.
I'm here.
Hey, Sandra.
Yes. Thank you. The only thing that I want to report is that there are a lot of organizations. I know that in addition to our leaders, our political leaders, Catalina and I know Jessica and Francisco. I know that they're working very hard. The churches as well, and I know Catholic Charities has been to the churches. They're coming to St. Bartholomew on Friday. St. Bartholomew on its own is providing food and assistance to the homebound and undocumented community members that do not have access that other people have. And I know that Jocelyn Henao has an organization that is also getting the store owners involved in providing me I believe it's 2 weeks worth of groceries to our most needed families in our community. So, even though we still need more, it's not like we're not working hard as a community to provide for our most needed. And that's it.
Thank you, Sandra.
Gaurav Singh Narula.
No, he's not in as no.
Okay. Let me, whoops. Went too
Although
far.
Edgar Moya just joined us, not even 10, maybe 10 seconds after you read his name, so maybe now would be a good time to unmute him. Chris, can you just back up really quickly on unmute Edgar? Edgar, you're on the line with us. You there? Edgar? No? Okay, never mind. Keep it moving. No, I guess not. But he is there, but he must not be able to hear us. Okay, Lou, go ahead.
Okay, Georgina Oliver,
No, sir.
Alexandra Owens,
Alex is also just an as attendee, but she is with us. She just won't be able to speak right now.
okay. Alexa Ponce,
No go.
Rupinder Raj,
No, sir.
Ashley Reed,
Ashley Reed is with us. Just give us a second. We'll unmute her right now. Ashley, you're on.
Yes. Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Christian. I'll save my comments for my committee report.
Okay. Beautiful. That works.
okay. Oscar Rios,
Oscar Rios is also attending via phone. He's not with us, but hi, Oscar. Thanks for joining, man.
okay. Neil Roman,
Neil is here. We're muting him right now. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm here. Nothing to
Neil,
report.
hello, welcome.
Yeah, how you doing? I think everybody's
Okay,
well.
So any questions or comments for us, Neil?
No, okay, no questions.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you. You too.
Christian Romero,
Christian Romero is here. We'll unmute him right now. Christian, you're on.
Hi, thank you, Christian. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Got it, man.
Nothing from my personal end. Just wanted to thank Christian and Christina for helping to put this together. And I hope everyone in CB4 and everyone really listening on the call is all healthy and well alongside your family. So that's it from my personal end.
Yeah, and guys, look, but we have to speak to the person who is running this whole show behind lines. Like Christina, seriously, she's the one that's doing all at the same time as we're doing this. She's simultaneously doing technical and handling it. So Christina's there, guys. So if you see any kind of delays, it's just her working really hard on this. Huge kudos to you, Chris, for this. Thank you. Keep it moving whenever we're after Chris.
okay. Fernando Ruiz,
No, sir.
Clara Salas,
Clara is here. We're unmuting her right now.
Hi, Christian. Hi.
Clara, hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Yes. Well, what I have to report is that I want to thank Red Civil of the Fellowship and Queens Community Houses for being so helpful in for connecting seniors in the Elmhurst area for the delivery of food to those seniors and groceries. And thank you, Red Civil, Lifestyle Fellowship, and thank you, Queens Community House in Forestville. Thank you so much. And Christina also helped me a lot in getting in touch with Red to connect with seniors. I have a list of about 100 seniors that need help in the area of food being delivered to them, and also connected with medical services. And I also these agencies were very helpful in assisting the seniors. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Clara.
Lucy Sherlerlo.
So Lucy is also in. She is as a standard call-in. So let's just see if we can catch her from the list. She's gonna take a little longer. Just bear with us.
Okay.
Just find her off the list. Just hold on. Let's come back around to Lucy for sake of keeping the meeting going and acknowledge our elected officials. Lucy, we will come back around to you.
Okay. All right. Wait.
I think I just heard her. Lucy, are you there? Hello? I could swear I heard her. No, I guess not. Sorry, go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry about that. Go.
No problem. Red Sevilla.
No, sir.
Alton Derek Smith.
Alton Smith just signed in. I just saw his name pop up. So yes, we're gonna unmute him right now. Alton, you're on the line.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Best wishes to everyone under these circumstances.
Thank you, thank you.
We have to just keep on pushing. That's all I can say at this moment in time.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Gregory Spock, who I'm looking at.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Patiently waiting. Good. Hey, Gregory.
I'll give my report during the parks portion, but again, I echo what everyone's saying. Hope everyone's healthy and safe. Good to see you all.
Okay, thank you. Dewan Tariq.
Hold on, let's just
Hi.
unmute him. Yeah, Dewan, go in. You're on the line, man.
Yes, hi, good evening. I'll keep it short. Thank you very much for having me. Praise the Lord. Just to echo on, respectfully echoing Ms. Munoz's statement earlier, I am in fact volunteering with Catholic Charities this Friday, May 1st, 10 a.m., St. Bartholomew's Church. We're hoping to feed 1,000+ families. Maybe I'll see some of you there.
Yeah, you can count on that. Yeah, you would likely see me there. I appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you very much. And one last thing, we have a great plan to restore America. Things are going to open up soon. Stay prayerful. Thank you.
Just hoping. Thanks, Dewan, for everything you do, man. Thank you.
Marcello Testa.
Marcello is on the line. We're gonna mute him right now. Marcello, whenever you're ready, you there? Marcello? All right, well, yeah, again, just one more thing that I want to clarify to the board members. We will be looping around a second time. If you see your agendas, there is a second chance for you to give any questions or comments, and we'll follow the same exact format as we did right now. All right, so Marcello is a no-go from what I understand. Going once, twice? No, that's it. Moving on. Go ahead, Lou.
Okay. Isadora Vasella.
Yeah, Izeda Varcasel. No?
Izeda Vasella.
No, she's not in. Moving on.
Damian Vargas, he's not even on this anymore,
Yeah,
right?
your list might be a little outdated, but we're good though. We're okay. It's all right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that's the end of the list.
Correct.
So now I will move on to the elected officials.
Correct.
Hold on. Okay, we'll start with U.S. Senator Charles E. Schumer. U.S. Senator Christine Gillibrand. From the House of Representatives, Grace Ming. So I guess, Christian, you have to unmute Christian Romero, right?
Correct. Yes, exactly. We're on it. Okay, Christian, you're good to go, man.
Thanks again for giving me a chance, just on behalf of Congresswoman Meng, to say hi to everybody. The Congresswoman really hopes that everyone in CB4, all your families, everyone on the line is all healthy and well during these turbulent times, really. As you know, and as many offices or all offices are, we're working remotely, but we continue to be accessible to all the constituents in need of assistance. So do not hesitate to reach out by calling our district office. Even if it's not federal in nature, we're happy to get you in touch with the right representative at the state or city or local level, wherever it is. We know that there are a lot of people during this time that just need access to information, to resources. And if we can just be even that link to point you in the right direction or get you to the right office, that's important to us. The Congresswoman started actively working with state and city officials to help Elmhurst Hospital when this all began. The Congresswoman distributed masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, and really other important PPE that could be helpful to Elmhurst Hospital, but not just the hospital, also nursing homes that a lot of people are seeing on the news pop up now, police precincts, community-based organizations, etc. And she will continue to help and fight for everyone, especially to get money from the federal government to help our essential workers, our small businesses. just everyone that's going through hardship and everyone that you might have heard was sort of left out in the first CARES package that passed the House and Senate. If you haven't received our flyers about unemployment, rebate, our resource guide, SBA loans, or anything at all, please feel free to reach out to me directly. Everyone in the board should have my information. But if there's anybody listening that doesn't, and anybody wants to reach me, please do not hesitate. Christian from CB4 office can give you all my information, my email, my cell phone, my address, anything you need. So thank you again. And on behalf of Congresswoman Grace Meng, we hope you're all healthy and well. Thanks.
Christian, thank you. On behalf of us all, I think I speak to us all. Thank you so much for everything you guys do, man. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Bear with us, Lou. Hold on while we unmute.
Oh, hello. Can you all hear me?
We can all hear
Yes.
you. Welcome, Congressman. How are you?
I'm well, and I hope everyone is doing well, particularly during these difficult times. Our office continues to be open to anyone in the community. So far, we have been joining with Congresswoman Meng in order to make sure that our community is getting the resources that we deserve, and that means that on the federal level, we are pushing as hard as we can for mortgage and rent relief. For our communities here. We are pushing for recurring payments so that we aren't just getting a one-time $1,200 check for a lot of our families, but that can be more than one time. It can be recurring. So these are, some of the fights that we're having on the federal level. On the local level, though, we haven't been waiting on the federal government to add more aid. We've been doing a lot of direct assistance, and so I'm pleased to report that. Our office has been able to organize about $350,000 to local food pantries and relief organizations in Queens and the most heavily impacted neighborhoods in the Bronx. So we have over $250,000 to local food pantries. I personally have been going out once a week, and we've been delivering meals in Corona, Throgs Neck, and other areas throughout the district. Our office, any issue that anybody has with any federal agencies in this time, our office is happy to kind of intervene and see what we can do. We are fighting for our immigrant families on the federal level. It is very challenging with Trump, but we are able to get some wins. And I'm happy to answer any additional questions that we all have here.
So Lou, we thank you so much, Congressman, for speaking. Lou, so at this point, you're not necessarily taking questions. How do you want to just moving on, or?
Yeah, I'll just move on then because we can't do questions right now as we'd like to.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Okay, New York State Assembly. Brian Barnwell.
Just bear with us. Hold on. Victoria, you should. Is Victoria still on the line? I believe Victoria Leahy is in.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome, Victoria.
Hi, good evening.
You're in. You made it.
Thank God. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. So our office is working remotely. We've been remote for a month and a half. So we are forwarding calls. If anybody in our district has any questions, concerns, complaints, you can still reach us at our normal district office number. We do have limited amounts of people on the phone. So if you don't get through us the first time, please leave a message and we'll call you right back. Other than that, our office has been pretty much functioning as normal or as normal as anybody can be right now. If anybody has questions with unemployment benefits, please contact our office and we can put you in the right direction or help you figure out these claims. And then lastly, I'm really happy to announce that in partnership with MassVet Federal Savings, we were able to secure 11,000 masks. And we were able to donate some of them to Elmhurst Hospital, and we are donating the rest to other first responders and other emergency workers. Other than that, I hope everybody's staying healthy, staying well, and staying inside. I hope to see all of you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Appreciate it. And again, send regards to the Assemblyman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next person up is from New York State Assembly, Michael Dendecker.
Nothing.
Jeffrey Aubrey. Nothing?
No, we don't see anybody from Aubrey's office. Hold on, just bear with us. Let's look through the list really quickly. Is anybody here from Aubrey's office? No, we don't have anybody from Aubrey.
Catalina Cruz?
Hold on, we're looking through the list. No, nobody here from Cruz's office.
Okay, the New York State Senate. Michael Janoris.
No, sir.
Jessica Ramos.
Hold on. Actually, hold on. We have somebody from Alexandra Owens is speaking on behalf of Catalina Cruz. Alex, are you just give me a second while we unmute you. Alex, you're unmuted. Are you there?
Yes. Hey, how are you?
Great. Alex, what's going on?
So I just started as the communications director for Catalina. First of all, I want to wish everybody celebrating Ramadan Mubarak. We just started last week. It's a tough time for everybody, but we'll get through this together. A few things that are going on in the office. We've been distributing about 2,000 meals a day directly out of the office. We are probably the only elected office in the state that's doing it. There might be others, but it's the only one that we know about right now. We're open Monday through Saturday from 12:30 to 3:30 until food runs out. Try to get there a little bit early because the line goes literally all the way around the block. We're located 4140 Junction Boulevard, and we're taking donations for diapers and masks. If anybody cares to donate, you can send them again directly to the office, 4140 Junction Boulevard in Corona. This Thursday, we'll be hosting our second town hall on housing. We're going to be doing this weekly for the next few months. If you're subscribed to our e-blast or social media, we'll be posting all the announcements there. And then two other things related to the food. If anybody needs food, they're not able to leave their house, call the office. We've been connecting seniors, particularly with delivery through DIFTA, and occasionally we'll drop off our own. Sometimes Catalina has done it herself. We have volunteers who've been doing donation or doing drop-offs as well. And lastly, we just introduced the Dignified Burial Act, which increases the amount of money allowed for low-income individuals to receive public assistance to be able to bury their loved ones. And this will, if it gets passed in both the Senate and Assembly, it will also apply to undocumented immigrants, which currently there are no public resources available to undocumented communities in terms of burials. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to Michael Janoris. Jessica Ramos.
We've already done that. Yeah, moving on.
Toby Ann Stavisky. Anyone from Stavisky's office?
No, sir. Yeah, we can.
From the New York City Mayor's office, Jessica Shabowski.
Yeah, hold on. She is in. Just give us a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Jessica, you're on.
Thank you. I wanted to wish everyone a Ramadan Mubarak to those who are observing. To highlight a few things, the mayor has been advocating for the federal government to provide New York City with more testing supplies and stimulus funding. As we're approaching May 1st, the mayor has been advocating for the Rent Guidelines Board to freeze rents for all regulated apartments. He's been vouching for tenants to be able to use security deposits to pay rent, and he's been calling for the state to approve an extension of the eviction moratorium to 60 days beyond the crisis. We're currently operating with a crisis standard for PPE. We've added thousands of personnel to help our public hospitals and work with the federal government to bring in military healthcare professionals. As we continue to track three indicators: one, hospital admissions; two, ICU occupants; three, the percent of city residents testing positive for the virus. We see these numbers are gradually and generally going down. So these are all good indications that we are far on the other end of this crisis. And now we can start thinking about how we can continue to practice social distancing as we lighten up restrictions. So public events have been canceled through the end of June. Alternate side parking has been suspended for another 2 weeks until May 12th. And especially as we start thinking about the summer, we're working with City Council to open 40 miles of open streets over the next month, possibly reaching up to 100 miles of open streets in and around parks. We'll be working with PD, DOT, sanitation, and parks. And just lastly, I'd like to highlight that if anybody sees anybody violating social distancing, to please help our enforcement teams by texting photos to 311-692 or using the 311 app. Thank you.
Jessica, really quickly, just because for sake of keeping consistency, our Park Street Gregory spot, and something we're all curious about, do we have any word as to where the beaches will be reopening in time for the beaches?
So right now the mayor has just said that we don't anticipate beaches to have their traditional opening on Memorial Day weekend, but we're open to seeing if towards the end of the summer there can be either a full opening of beaches to a traditional way or a more restricted version.
And one last thing that this was in regards to Jessica, we just had the cabinet a couple of days ago. And again, earlier I had spoken on the enforcement of social distancing, but one thing that everybody can do in the meantime, it's a line that is directly linked to any complaints having to do with people who are not social distancing in our parks. And all you have to do is text 311-692 and attach any photos of any park that you see that have people that are not practicing it. That includes any kind of contact support. So again, the number is 311-692. I would imagine that standard text messages do apply. Maybe it's 10 cents, 25 cents per, but if you have unlimited plan, that should not be an issue. And 311-692 and send any photos or any complaints with regard to parks that are not practicing social distancing. Lou, whenever you're ready. We do have Councilman Moya. He's actually.
Oh, well, hold on.
No,
Okay.
Just got the text, that's fine.
Okay. The next person up is Councilman Francisco Moya.
Give us a second.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Councilman, you're in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You're good to go. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to say to everyone, I hope that you're all doing well and your families are doing well under the circumstances that we're in. You know, this was a very difficult moment for all of us, but especially, you know, all of the board members. We lost one of our own, Priscilla Carroll. She was a dear friend and someone who I've known for over 20 years. She really gave her life to this community and to the board, and she will be sorely missed. And I hope that we all keep her and her families in our prayers. She is someone who really meant a lot to a whole lot of us. So to Priscilla, we love you, we miss you, and we will continue to do the great work that you were doing. Folks, I just wanted to bring you some updates. We are operational. The office is still functioning. You can always reach out to us by phone or email. If you need to reach us, we are easily reached at District 21 at council.nyc.gov. That goes directly to myself and my staff, and my telephone number is 718-651-1917. We will be, all those calls that come in, we answer them right away. But just a couple of things. As we know, Elmhurst was hit very hard. One of the things that I was able to do is work and got the largest private donation of PPEs. It was 100,000 N95 masks that were delivered with the help of some good people that I know from Apollo Management. They came out and got us those masks. We were able to do that for Elmhurst Hospital, and over 50,000 hospital gowns that was given to them on that first wave that we saw. And it's really critical that we had gotten them that at the forefront. It was something that was really work that needed to be done. But we also saw how this impacted our community, especially those that are on the front line and what has been now deemed essential workers. Those are the delivery folks. Those are the men and women right now who are manning the cash registers and stocking the aisles in our supermarkets. They were hurt really badly right now, and we need to make sure that we continue to support them in whatever ways possible. I have introduced the Burial Assistance Fund, which myself and Speaker Corey Johnson are pushing right now to ensure that anyone who has difficulty affording the possibility of burying or cremating their loved ones, they would be able to get some financial assistance from the city. Right now, there's a program that is run by HRA, and that only gives you up to $900 in burial assistance. The average cost for a cremation is $3,800. It's not nearly enough, and it also doesn't cover anyone who is undocumented. And we've seen that right now in this area, 70% of the population that has been affected by COVID-19 are Latinos. Most of them are in the hospitality or service industry, and then they're the ones that had to, be out there in this time, keeping really the city running. They've been hurt by this. This burial assistance program that we're trying to fund would be so that people can bury their loved ones with dignity. If you've been watching the news and you see the images of the mass burials in Hart Island, it's heart-wrenching. It's what we see in war-torn countries, not in New York. And this is why it's so important that we provide this assistance for those that need it. We also are doing a lot with the food pantries. The city council right now has put in $25 million for emergency food that will be delivered to the pantries here in the city of New York, but especially in our district right now. And if anyone is in need of assistance with that, I'm happy to talk to you guys offline. Chris or Luke can call me or reach out to me anytime. We will help if there's families that that need food. We can get them food delivered, especially seniors. It's so critical right now that our senior population has the food that they need. We've seen that there's a large number of our seniors that actually need emergency food help, meaning that if they don't receive the food deliveries that day, they will not have food to eat. And it's at a high number here in this community. So we are putting in that money now and making sure that this gets to our community ASAP. Small businesses, they've been affected by this in a real way. We are now putting in a stimulus package that is going to help small business owners, especially those that have less than 4 employees, that they will be able to get support. I'm sorry, less than 10 employees, they'll be able to get loans from the city, no cost loans, so that this is a way for our businesses to come back and make sure that they are getting the support that they need. I've introduced a couple of bills that are going to be heard tomorrow at the city council. It really goes to protect the small business owners, because right now, if you are ordering from Seamless, Grubhub, or any of the app delivery services, they are actually charging our local restaurants a 10% fee. And right now, when you go on any one of these apps, if you look at the menu, that's from the actual company. It's not from the restaurant. And if you make a phone call and you don't put in an order, that company is still charging the restaurant a 10% fee, plus they charge them a phone fee that can run up to $9 for maybe a 2-minute call, if not less. So we're putting in a lot of measures here to protect our small businesses. And we're just going to continue to work with you and the community. I don't want to take any more of your time, but I just wanted to say thank you, Lou. Thank you, Chris, and to all of you who are board members for keeping government work alive, making sure that we're taking care of this community. You really are an example of how we're going to keep going forward. So I want to thank you very much for all that you do, and thank you for the opportunity for having me here and to say hello. Thank you. God bless you all.
We want to thank you as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And just so my Councilmember Gregory sent the link that I'd like to get to sometime later on. I'm not sure. Gregory, I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to open the link, but I did see it's something referencing Grubhub. So maybe it's an interesting article. We'll get it to you sometime later on.
Yep.
Gregory, and the truth is, Gregory, and Councilmember, I'm not sure if you're going to be around for that, but the board members will get a second chance. So Gregory, maybe that will be the time for you to be able to make that announcement. Lou, whenever you're ready. If you want to. There you go. Okay, there you go. You're off now. You're off. Yeah, go.
Okay, well, okay. Thank you, Council Member Francisco Moya, for your information and your time and your help. Daniel Drum, is his rep here or is he here?
Yes, the rep is here. Yeah, just the rep is here.
Okay.
Lou, I'm calling you on your cell phone right now. Please pick up.
Can everyone hear me? Hi, my name is Kelly.
Your mic, hold on, Kelly, hold on. Mute your mic.
Hi everyone. I'm Kelly from Councilman Drum's office. Just like to give out some update and some information from our office. The council member sent his regard. He wish everyone staying well and healthy. The first thing is that recently, ProPublica recently published an article highlighting the condition and problem at the Queens Adult Daycare Center in Amherst. The daughter of a resident was being interviewed in the article. She was told by the administrator that her father was fine in the center, and there were no coronavirus cases confirmed in there, but it was not true. The people in the administration lied to the family members about the center's condition and their loved ones' health condition. In fact, about 12 residents have died and 44 have tested positive for COVID-19 as of April 15. So the council member, Drum, and Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz are working on a letter asking the Governor Cuomo and New York Attorney General James to urge an immediate investigation into the Queens Adult Care Center. Just want to give out this information. So next, our office has been working with the Sherpas to get food distribution for the district. So they do it once a week. If you want to know when they do it or which day, you can reach out to our office. I will let you know. Because by now they don't have a fixed day. So if you need to find out, then you have to call our office and then we'll let you know the information. Next, so Councilmember Drum was able to add a new food distribution site at PS 89 in Amherst. So food for kids are available every day from 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. And there are also food for adults that are available every day from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So Councilmember Drum also worked with ADICAR to advocate for 11,000 hotel rooms to provide for free to people who need a space to quarantine or to isolate. So if someone's tested positive for COVID, they can apply for this program to get a hotel room for quarantine. Next, as we know that New York City 311 has activated a new hotline to assist tenants and landlord issues. So now you can call 311 for rent support, receive guidance on pressing issues like harassment, evictions, and benefit access. Lastly, our office is continued to provide general and immigration information for constituents. If you need an appointment, please feel free to call our office. The appointment will be conducted by phone. So our office phone number is 718-803-6373. So we are working remotely now. Please feel free to call our office if you need help. Leave a detailed message, and then one of our staff will get back to you as soon as possible. That's all I have today. I wish everyone stay safe and well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see, maybe this will be better this way. I don't know. The next person is Borough President Sharon Lee, or a rep. I can't hear you, Christian.
I'm on. Okay.
He's on.
Hi, folks. It's Joe from the Borough President's Office. Sharon Lee sends her regards. I hope I'm not echoing like I am to me to you guys.
Hold on. Hold on. We're trying to figure where the echo's coming from, guys. Hold on.
Okay, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Give me a sec. I got it. I'm off. I'm on two things. Okay, is this better?
Much better. Yes, yes. I see Matt. Matt's shaking his head. Yes, nodding his head. Yes, you certainly are better, Joe. Go.
I was on my phone and my thing. Listen, everyone, hello. The borough president and myself, we send our regards. We are hoping everyone is safe and well. I have a statement that I sent to Chris. He'll send out to you. I will only read a little bit of each point just from the borough president. First of all, the census, please, everyone. Make sure you tell yourselves, for your family and your neighbors, www.my2020census.gov. Please fill that out. Community board members, those of you whose term are up this year, you were extended. You are extended to May 31st. An additional 60 days you will have. And the borough president is now presently working with filling seats for you. Virtual Parent Advisory Board Meeting. That is going to be Thursday, April 30th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Go on our website. You can link in. The New York City Department of Education will discuss online learning, cancel tests, and other changes to this year's academic calendar. So please, if that is appropriate, go on. Fresh Direct Food Initiative. Acting Queensborough President Sharon Lee announced a 2-month extension to the Queens partnership with Fresh Direct, that we are sending food out to every board in the area. And this is in conjunction with Mayor Bill de Blasio, the Sanitation Commission. And in your area, I will tell you that Church of Ascension in Elmhurst, Dominico American Society of Queens, Elmcor, Elmhurst Community Partnership, Flora Ministries, Make the Road in Jackson Heights, and Voices of Hagar are all getting food within the next several weeks from this program, which is also delivered by Port Authority, and we thank Bronx President Ruben Diaz. Lastly, Fuel the front lines. Sharon Lee has announced a second extension where she is coordinating with EDC and the Queens Night Market to provide thousands of freshly prepared meals to hospital workers. And she is paying that tab, and it is also in conjunction with Resorts World Casino. Chris will send this out to everybody. Thank you, Chris. And on it will be each item that I mentioned, a lot more detail, worth a 5-minute read. All be safe, all be well. Christian, thank you. Lou, thank you. Board members, thank you. Oh, and a shout out to Jessica from the mayor's office for helping me get on this last minute. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Scott Springer's office. Is there anybody here from Scott Springer's office?
We have James Mangaluzo. James, is that with a Mangaluzo or is it Mangaluzo? Excuse me.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, I usually say Mangaluzo, but I mean, I guess it's really like Mongeluzzo, but people in my family pronounce it different ways. Many different pronunciations.
Well, thanks for coming in, man. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. It's good to be here. I'm glad to join in. I have a lot of updates from the controller's office. So, I'll start with some of the bad news because I know I've been getting a lot of questions about the impact of COVID-19 on the city's economy, on the amount of money the city is going to be able to collect. And on March 23rd, our office issued a report. It was the second report that gave an estimate of the amount of money that the city will lose because of COVID-19, because of uncollected taxes, or basically as the economy has slowed down so much. The estimate was that there'd be a loss as high as $6 billion to the city. But based on the fact that this pandemic has continued, and because we don't know when we're going to be able to stop the social distancing, when it'll be safe to stop it, and when the pause will end, now our office is estimating that it may be worse, but we don't have exact numbers because everything is just so fluid. So that's enough of the bad news. Now, for some of the good news, I'm going to give you a link for the Controller's Small Business and MWBE webinar series. So that's a series of webinars via Zoom in which small business owners can join in and get information about money that's available to them through the government, but also ways to get private funding. There are many people who didn't get the PPP money, and they're trying to find other ways to make their business work, to pay their employees, right, to keep people on payroll and so on. So if you or anyone you know might benefit from that, please send them the link. I'm going to put it into the chat right now, which I think only the participant or only the board members can see it, sadly, but I'll put it in there. And it has a focus on businesses that are owned by women and minorities. But if you don't fit either of those categories, there's still information that could be useful to you. But certain things will be specifically geared towards people that fit those categories. Additionally, Scott Stringer himself, our controller, will be on a call tomorrow with the Queens Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to put that into the I'll put the link as well, or maybe Christian seemed to put one in as well. A link for that web series there, or not web series, sorry, that web meeting. It's at 11:30 tomorrow. It's with the Queens Chamber of Commerce. There'll be statements made, and then there'll be live question and answers. It's going to be focusing on the impact of small businesses, the impact that COVID-19 has had on small businesses within Queens. And last thing I'm going to say, the last link I'm going to give you is a link to our COVID-19 Resource Center. Even though I work for the Controller's Office, I actually believe what I'm about to tell you. It is the most comprehensive guide that I have seen for New York City. It has a lot of resources for tenants, for landlords, for people who want cultural institutions to have virtual access. We have all sorts of resources in there. I really hope that everyone will be able to look at it. I will put it into the chat now. This is the COVID-19 Resource Center. So please send that around. It has a lot of very helpful information. Lastly, I'll just say that, our office has been using our weight as much as possible to advocate for helping a lot of the frontline workers, advocating for things like hazard pay, making sure that there's enough PPE at the places that really need it the most. And if you have any suggestions of anything our office should be advocating for, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll also put my contact info into the chat there. So that's all. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Yeah, so really quickly, James, if I may just chime in. So we'll do our best to share it. We do know that this meeting is being recorded. We don't know if the links, and again, there's something we'll have to try, maybe and through trial and error, maybe you can answer it. While the meeting is being recorded, we'll share it as best we can. And if the links are still clickable, then we should be good to go. So, but we'll do our best to share everything. And I already did see the resource cabinet. It is pretty, I will say, it is pretty comprehensive. We have District Attorney Katz on the phone, and we also have Zachariah Boyer from the Public
Hold
Advocate.
on, we have another one to go on my list. Hold on, Chris.
Just letting you know who's on the list so far. Thanks.
Jamani Williams, anybody from his office here?
Correct. That's Zachariah Boyer from Giovanni Mullen. He's on right now. Zachariah?
Hey, can you hear me? I'm not sure if this is going through.
It is. You're good to go.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for doing this. This really gives me something to look forward to throughout the month, going to these meetings. Being alone at my house in Astoria is kind of crazy. I'm sure you all are feeling that. So I just wanted to lift that up. Really quickly, just a very quick, I had sent Christian a couple of resources from our office, and I wanted to make sure, Christian, you did get those, correct? I wanted to make sure. I cannot hear you. It seems like you're muted.
I did receive it. I was just gonna wait for you to make the announcement tonight from the board, and then tomorrow, first thing in the morning, once this meeting is ended, we'll share all those. But yeah.
Okay, fantastic. In that email, just for everybody that's here, it has our constituent services portal. It has contact information for myself and for our office. We are open, we are working, and we have a decently large constituent services team that's there to help you through anything that you might need help with. Also in that email is my contact information, which includes my cell phone number and my email. Two things I wanted to bring up really, really quickly, and then I'll get out of your hair. The Public Advocate has been calling for additional testing sites, especially in light of all of the reports detailing the racial disparity during this crisis. I know that we all see that and we feel that. We've been actively calling on that for quite some time, and I think we are slowly seeing some results. As I get more information about those that are being announced or brought forward, I will make sure to send those out to Community Board 4. Lastly, my phone number, I'm just going to give it to everybody while I'm talking, is 646-397-3435. I'm also going to put in the chat just so everybody has that, okay? I'm so glad to hear all of your voices. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Zachariah. Appreciate it.
Okay. Queens DA Melinda Katz.
Yes, she is here. We're unmuting her right now.
Hi, I cannot, can you see me?
We cannot see you, but we can certainly hear you.
All right, do you think you disabled my video? Is that purposeful, or I swear I don't look that bad.
No, I don't think so. No, you should be good to go.
Well, but you can't see me. I'll start my video. There we go.
There you go. There we go.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
So this is my house. Hold on one second, guys. Give me 1 second, all right? So I wanted to take this opportunity to just touch base with everyone. Make sure that you knew that the district attorney's office was running. We are working very hard every single day to make sure. Hi, Louis. To make sure that our court systems are running smoothly. We are doing all arraignments by Skype. And so that everyone is social distancing. We don't have people in the office unless they are essential to be in the office, like intake and arraignments when people are getting arrested. We're doing appellate division arguments by Skype. I mean, we're doing everything by video conferencing. At the same time, just so you know, We've gone through hundreds and hundreds of petitions for people to be released from Rikers Island. We released, almost 100 people without any objection, 30 on like the first 2 days where we just said, they've done 5 out of 6 of their sentence of months, and they're on Rikers. We think because of the COVID and because of all the health risks that they should be released. I will tell you though that I am balancing very carefully the danger to public and the danger to the inmates to make sure that, we're doing the right thing for Queens in general. But there has been a very large push to see that we get people who are in danger, people, there was a gentleman with one lung that we decided was definitely a health risk and made sure that we're in the process of removing him from Rikers and several others examples. But at the same time, we're doing arraignments. We are making sure that people that are arrested are arraigned in a healthy and safe way. There are 2 issues I wanted to bring up tonight. Domestic violence numbers have gone down. That is counterintuitive to the fact that we are all social distancing in our home and we're sort of trapped in self-quarantine. I have done a PSA announcement on Twitter. So anybody who knows, any of the community board members that know of people who have been victims of domestic violence, who have reached out to your organization in the past, remember that police are not doing home visits because of the quarantine orders, or the sheltering orders, and that there is really no sort of physical check. So if you know of someone who is at risk, please contact them, because we know that even though the numbers have gone down, it's just not real. It can't be real. The commissioner of police has talked about it. I've talked about it. And we want to make sure that people know there is a hotline at the Queens District Attorney's Office. That hotline's number is 718-286-4410. And I apologize, I can't see myself on this phone, so I don't know whether you only see my nose or my house or whatever. So the domestic violence hotline is 718-286-4410. When someone calls that number, I decided that, since a lot of people know who I am, and hopefully they can trust the fact that, they're going to call and life's not going to turn upside down and they're going to have more control than they might think if they just call a city agency. The hotline will ask whether or not there's an emergency, they should call 911. But if they need social services, if they want to talk to an assistant district attorney about domestic violence, if they want to see what options are available for them during this pandemic, they should really call the hotline, and there will be someone answering 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So please know that. Number 2, we're coming out with numbers tomorrow. The suicides have doubled in this time. It is a tragic, tragic circumstance that people feel fear. They feel like there's not a lot of people to talk to. I am very blessed that I have my children to shelter in with. Not many people have that, and not many people have that privilege. Some people are sheltering in alone. They find very few people to talk to. The not having any human contact is an issue. And so we want to make sure that we're checking on our loved ones and our friends to make sure that they are feeling okay and that they're not feeling alone in this period of time. But I really wanted the opportunity to say hello and to make sure that all of you know I haven't disappeared. I'm still around. I'm still a resource. And I still would appreciate if you'd call me if you have any need from anything from me. I've always appreciated my relationship with the community board. I've always felt like it was home to me, especially so please let us know if there's anything else that we can do. But the office is running. We're doing everything we can to make sure that Queens stays safe in all ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda.
Thank you, Melinda. Much appreciated. Thank you
My
so much.
phone number, I'm sorry, 286-6300 is my phone number at the office. My email address, which goes right to my phone, everyone, is cats@queensda.org. Goes right to my phone. So please use it. Same way you always have. Thanks, Louis.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Christian.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for everything. No, really appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Good seeing all of you.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Christian, we'll move on the agenda now to the committee reports.
Okay.
Do we
Yeah,
have anybody
yeah, go ahead, whenever you're ready.
recognized elected-wise? We're done, right?
No, I don't believe so. No, we're good to go. No.
Okay. The census committee, is that person here?
She's not in. She's not in. I will tell you this much. I do have an email that I'll forward to the board from one of the reps on census. One thing that they are very concerned about, as you can imagine, specifically Corona. I mean, I feel like Summers and Corona, but Corona in particular is being undercounted. At a time like this, it's even more so. So I don't want to use the term panic, but the census is a little bit nervous, and that's it. I mean, just because you're shacked up or you're unable to have to practice social distancing does not mean you should not apply for the census. It has nothing to do with your migratory status. Everybody should do it, and if nothing else, now is the time to do it because you are staying at home and you can mail to your house. We are going to work with them. A lot of issues that we had, initiatives we had, such as job fairs, obviously, we had to squash because of everything that's going on, but we will be working with the census very soon and just promote the census. So no, nothing else.
Okay, thank you. The next report, Consumer Affairs.
Okay, we're going to unmute Alex right now. Alex, bear with us, hold on. Bear with us, Lou. Hold on while we unmute her.
I think I'm unmuted.
You're good to go, Alex. Hello.
So Elmhurst, as you guys know, Elmhurst and Corona have been probably the first neighborhoods to shut down when COVID started. One of the hardest hit areas economically, and if you walk down Broadway or Corona or Junction Boulevard, you're lucky if you see one or two stores open. As the mayor's office had just announced, there is a new fund that is coming out for small businesses that should be available. You should try to apply as soon as possible. I'll drop the link into the chat once we're over or once I stop speaking. And some of the things that we've been aware of are there's been a number of scams going on in the community. Early on, price gouging was a huge concern. I know Christian was taking calls about a number of stores that were jacking up the price of sanitizer and food and masks. I'm not sure if that has subsided as much, but I haven't heard as many issues lately. Some of the other issues that I've heard from the news office is there's job scams through WhatsApp. Testing kits are being offered for $500. People are so desperate to try to get a COVID test that people are trying to take advantage of that. There have been lawyers who have promised asylum and they're not following through, or they're misleading, giving false information. And there are also social service benefit programs that are not accurate. So if you hear of any scams in the community, I guess you could reach out to the Attorney General's office, or Christian, do you feel calls? Okay, so you could call into the community board office as well to report them.
Yeah, so if I may, really quickly, I'll just jump into some things that Alex was saying. Yes, in fact, price gouging is still happening. We did have a discussion with a rep from Consumer Affairs, and price gouging is actually anything over 10% of the retail price. And that's really nothing. I mean, any store just for $3, they're selling for $3.30. It's already a price gouge. And it's something to look out for immediately. Whenever you see a store that has everything re-tagged with brand new orange pricey tags, just give it a quick scratch and see what's under it. I mean, when it gets to the point that we want to do this to every single store, but if we find a store that's price gouging anything more than 10%, which is really nothing. And we do understand that a lot of stores are saying that they're also getting gouged from the higher tier, from their vendors, but that's something that they have to take up. But on a local level, we are allowed to, if we see anything over 10% of what the regular price would be, we are allowed to call it in. We call 311 and it's handled. And Alex, I don't feel that this relates directly to consumer affairs, but finances are somewhat involved. And I think this is more for James from Springer's office. But one thing that I'm noticing, a lot of people in Corona are not getting their stimulus checks. And again, it does not necessarily pertain to you, Alex, but I do want to discuss it. What I found out recently, because we went through it with our account, with our family, apparently the issue is that if you have not yet received the stimulus, you're getting an error about your bank info. What apparently is happening, if you are one of the people who paid for your tax return via EFT and the money was handled by your, rather, in other words, before the money came to you, you paid it directly and you had the money withdrawn from your bank account by your accountant, your accountant is directly responsible for that money. That's why we're not receiving it. First, it goes to your accountant's account. He takes out his share, he or she takes out their share of whatever their fee was, and it's supposed to in turn transfer it over to you. And a lot of people are getting errors with their bank information, and that's why your direct deposit is not linked to you directly. It is linked to your accountant who had taken out his payment and then passed it on to you. So if you were paying in cash, you should be okay. However, if you did it through an electronic fund transfer to pay for it before you receive your tax return and you have not yet received your money, please reach out to your accountant. They should be bombarded right now because it's in their hands right now. So just I want to get that out there. We have way too many people that aren't getting the stimulus checks. And maybe, James, I'll speak to you later on offline if in fact I'm correct on that, and maybe we can spread the information if that in fact is what's really happening. But that's what I understood it to be.
Christian, on that issue, part of that problem is their accountants set up temporary accounts during tax time. So many of those accounts, in fact, are closed. They're not even accessible.
We know, and that's why we just found it out, because I'll tell you this much, nobody in my family got it. And when we finally figured out what it took a little bit of soul searching and a lot of the question and answer, but it turned out that if you did it that way, and again, I mean, that just creates even more issues. But of course, we have to look at, if you have an accountant that's one of those open up mom and pop place, that money is sitting somewhere in your accountant's responsibility. So it's something that we might look into. And again, if it's that big of an issue, as you're stating, Lou, then I'd love to bring it up to the controller's office and whoever else.
Yeah, because some of those accounts are closed accounts, in fact, because they're only set up for that time period.
Correct,
So
and that's something we have to look out for. Correct.
You have access to that account. It's really the bank then, which gets into a whole nother situation now.
Correct, but let's just look into that, because I do feel a lot of people, in order to avoid the fees right off the bat, just have their accounts and shave it off the return when it comes, and unfortunately get jerked in the end. So just an FYI, keep an ear out for that.
Okay.
All right, Lou, go ahead, whoever's next.
Environmental.
He's on the line, but he's unable to speak because he's as a standard attendee. But he is here, but no report right now.
Okay, let's move on. Health.
Ashley's about to be unmuted. Hold on, Ashley. There you go. Good to go.
Hi, thank you, Christian. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for working so hard to put this together. Just a few things, just to piggyback off of some things that were already said. I don't know if this was mentioned, but you can report price gouging by calling 311 and by saying overcharge. And that's just another avenue.
Really?
Yeah. It's another avenue for you to, if you notice it happening in your community, you can call 311 and report it that way. Also, if you guys aren't aware, HRA offices aren't closed, but they are still accepting applications. So I would encourage everyone who feels that they're eligible, even if you worry that you're not eligible, still apply. SNAP benefits, cash assistance, and even rental assistance. If you find yourself, in need of extra help, or again, if you know anyone who does need the help, just go on Access HRA, create an account, and you can start an application. And it's done completely online. If they need any additional information from you, you can upload your documents online. You never have to set foot in an office, and it's completely safe and confidential. So I, encourage everyone to use those services if they feel that they are, entitled to them. And I just want to thank Councilman Moya for the donation of the PPE. I'm sure we all know that was, sorely needed. We've been in touch with our liaisons at Elmhurst Hospital, and I think right now they mostly need cash donations. I guess Christian could speak some more to that. If anyone would like to make a donation, you can reach out to us and we'll, connect you. And that's all for right now. Just encouraging everyone to please wear a face mask or some type of face covering when you go out. If you don't have a mask, a scarf, anything will do. Just please continue to do your part so that we can continue to flatten the curve. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Parks.
Can you hear me?
Parks next.
Am I unmuted? Okay.
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Most, of the announcements I have already been stated by Christian. As far as social distancing in parks, it's a challenging thing, but it's something that really needs to be adhered to. The NYPD and PEP are, staying diligent as best they can on breaking up groups that are larger than 10. You can also call 311 and report that. So it's really, everyone's job to participate in this, especially since right now, we see that parks are the main way that people get access to fresh air and exercise and those things. But, that all has changed, and we, hope with a lot of the things that were mentioned tonight, with the various mayor initiatives and further things that are coming down the pike, we're going to sort of, alleviate that with closing down roads or whatever else is going to be happening. To stay sort of on top of this, I sent Christian a link, and I'll make sure he shares it with all of you. There's a lot of webinars right now that I've been attending on how park design is changing. And, I will be the voice for the board as your parks chair and the public in communicating how things need to be shifted. I'm sure you probably are already aware that, fitness centers and gyms are changing the way they're designed. So we really need to sort of take that into account in how future parks are designed so that we can address these issues, because we have a new normal that we are facing. The other announcement I just wanted to make, as the vice chair of the CAB, we are still meeting. That's the Community Advisory Board portion of Flushing Meadows Corona Park, for those unfamiliar. Our next meeting is going to be via Zoom. It's May 27th at 7 p.m. I'll make sure that the link and all of the information about that gets sent out so that anyone that wants to take an active role in Flushing Meadows Corona Park, which has seen a lot of issues with social distancing, so that we can work together to also find a solution in doing our part in that park. But thank you.
Thank you, Gregory.
Thank you, Gregory.
Transportation.
Just hold on, we'll unmute Linda in a second.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, Linda.
Just a quick update from the Transportation Committee. We received an update from DOT that they will have their contractors staffing and weather permitting will be completing the bike lane markings in Community Board 3 and 4 this spring. And we can share a map of where those markings will be completed at the end of this meeting as well. And the bike lane markings are for the conventional bike lanes and sharrows. Sharrows being the shared bike lanes. And we don't have a committee meeting scheduled for May as of yet, but we do plan on working with the board office on following up with DOT regarding the resort casinos bus permit application that has been in the works now for several weeks and is likely delayed because of the situation we're in. But we have not forgotten, and we'll update everyone as soon as we have more information about that. And that's all I have for now.
Thank you, Linda. Public safety and homeland security. Christian, Public Safety and Homeland Security.
Yeah, well, I'm here. Hold on. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying, so Lucy is on the line, but she's unable to speak right now because it was unprecedented. We don't expect her. She's having some tech issues, so she's unable to dial in to give her report.
Okay.
Hello?
All right.
Okay. So, but I would still, report nonetheless for those who weren't here earlier. Nonetheless, just realize, guys, what we're doing is there is no formalized vote to be taken tonight. Remember, the SLA process, while it is still active, is very difficult for us to a board to be able to vote on licenses when restaurant owners are shut down. We actually had a restaurant owner dial in who was ill, who actually got hit with the virus. So what we're doing is we're exercising our advisory role in that we are writing to the SLA with regards to any violations, 301 complaints, or SLA violations that were reported to us, and we are only informing the New York State Liquor Authority that we are aware of these issues and the discussion is on them, but we will not be taking a vote because not only did Lucy not have a quorum, but we can't hold restaurants accountable because again, the restaurants is all over the place right now. So that's it for public safety. What we can do, Lou, is for all the board members here, we will share that list with all of you so you see which restaurants were discussed as part of tonight's meeting minutes, but that's the extent of it. Thanks, Lou.
Okay. ULERP.
Give us a second. We'll unmute Halton right now. Halton, you're unmuted. You're good to go. You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For us to be able to talk about what's going on in the community at this moment in time with this, we have never been through anything like this before. In terms of Europe, there's not much taking place. As you know, the mayor have put Europe on hold specifically. So anything that was pending is still pending. So I would imagine at some point in time, maybe the end of May, whenever things go back to normal, or when he decides to lift the pending ban on Europe, we would then hopefully be looking at maybe one application. But that's basically my report for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Youth services.
Youth is actually, no, she's on the line, but again, nothing to report. Very briefly, I could just say that, wait, Alexa?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, you have a lot of feedback.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm driving, so, but there is no updates right now from you.
Okay, no updates. Christian, no updates from Alexa.
Yeah, no updates. Look, I mean, we discussed the youth fair. That seems to be the main thing. But at this point, considering the way things are, it's all over the place. It doesn't seem it's going to happen for this year. That much I can say.
Okay, let's move on. Christian, at this second open session, I'm not going to read all the names again.
Correct. Yeah, only go by the names that are there. I do have one small announcement I'd like to make, but it's from the citizens, the Civilian Complaint Review Board. But I can read that afterwards. So if you want to, yeah, absolutely, I would go based on the people that are here in the meeting and just go from there.
Well, I can't see that, so you have to do that. I'm on my phone, and
Okay. All right. So look, guys, I'm literally gonna go. I mean, so. We can try to go alphabetical. I don't have an alphabetical list in front of me right now. Look, guys, we're going to go in the order.
Just go in some order that you have it in there for now.
Correct, exactly. That's what we'll do. So the first person is, so Christina, bear with me on this. I'll go as slow as I can. We're not going in any order. So right off the bat, Gurdeep Singh Narula first. You're unmuted. Go ahead, sir.
I represent is a United Sikh. It's a NGO which is for the last 20 years. Hello?
Yes, we hear you. We hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, and this time we served almost 60 to 70,000 meals to Adams Hospital and Queen Hospital Jamaica Hospital, and also rehab center also. But if somebody need anybody is a food, I'm trying to get Flushing Hospital. If I call them up, and we are trying to provide a food also 50 meals every day. So this is my efforts to help the community because I'm part of the community, and our sick United Sick is a NGO which is approved by the UNO, and our so we want that everybody should know. And if you need anybody help for the food, we have no problem. Our United Sick, they can supply the food as much as you need.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Narula.
And I want to so that he knows he's a part of the District 21, but he should know that we are also helping the Hermes Hospital almost with 30,000 meals we supplied about 3 weeks before.
Thank you so much, Mr. Narula. Much appreciated.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Again, so you may be surprised, but we're in a particular order. Next up, Mary Elena, if you can, do you have anything you'd like to put our way? Hold on. All right, go for it.
No, thank you. I have nothing to add. I just want everyone to continue social distancing and please stay safe and healthy. And I'm hoping we can go back to some type of normalcy in the future. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, again, guys, in no particular order. Matt McElroy, you're up next. Any comments, questions, concerns?
No, nothing really to say. Hi to everybody, and stay tough.
Thank you. Thank you. Well spoken. Okay, right after Matt, can we have Alexandra Owens up next, please? Just give us a second. All right, Alex, you're on the line.
Sorry about that.
Don't
No,
worry
I
about
don't really have anything to say. I feel like I've spoken enough tonight. But I just wish everybody stay safe, continue wearing masks to stop the spread, and I miss you guys.
Same to you. All right, after Alex, just bear with me. All right, up next, we have Alton Smith, round two. Any questions or concerns post-meeting?
No, there's no concern. There's big concerns, but there's no specific concerns. Thank you very much.
Understood. All right. Thank you, Alton. All right. Right after Alton, we are going to go with Ari Espinal. Ari, there you go. You're in.
Hi. No other
No.
concerns. No.
Okay.
No.
You got it. No problem. All right. Right after Ari, we're back to Ashley Reed. Ashley, any post-meeting comments or questions?
No, nothing further. Just stay safe, everybody, and hope to see everybody soon.
All right. After Ashley, Mr. Chen. Is Mr. Chen here?
I'm here.
Mr. Chen, good evening, sir. Any questions, comments, concerns for the board before we close off?
Yeah, I just glad to see everybody here healthy and we can communicate. So
Okay.
yes.
Just bear with me. Okay, Mr. Chen. After Mr. Chen, excuse me, because every time somebody speaks, it kind of throws the order off. So just bear with me, guys. Hold on. After Mr. Chen, let's go with Clara Salas.
No, I don't have anything else to add except be safe, wear your mask and your gloves. Be safe, and God bless all of you.
You got it. Thank you, Clara. Thanks for everything you do. All right. Up next, we have Christian Romero for the second round.
From me, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. After Christian Romero, let's go with Gregory Spock.
So just one thing I put in the chat there about the situation, with what's considered essential construction and what's not. I feel like that's really being exploited. So if everyone can just sort of stay vigilant and take note of that. I know we have little power in terms of changing mayoral and governor decisions, but just so everyone's aware of what's happening.
Thank you. All right, let's go to again. Up next, you have the mic, Lucy Scully. Lucy Cerezo Scully, excuse me.
It's okay.
Because I knew you were gonna get me on that. Lucy Cerezo Scully, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, I was caught a little off guard the first time I had the mic. So yes, I did just want to say I'm grateful for all the work that people are doing to help support. I do work in the community and live in the community. My students are struggling, and you know, a lot of them are food insecure, and we've been able to let them know all the different people who are, you know, giving out supplies and food and anything they might need. And that's all I could say, really. We did lose a colleague, unfortunately, to COVID from my school. And so it's been a little bit crazy for us to scramble and get things done. But, you know, I am grateful that we are supporting each other through these times. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lucy. Thanks for all you do. Really so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, next, Edgar Moya. Any questions, comments, concerns post-meeting, sir?
Yes, can you hear me?
Edgar, yes, we can hear you. Good evening, man. How are you?
Good, good. How's everybody? I'm just
Man, keeping ourselves busy.
well, actually, I want to commend everybody for being on the call, and despite a pandemic, we were able to sort of pull this together. But stay safety and healthy.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, Marcello Testa, up next. Marcello, questions, comments, concerns? No? Okay, moving on. Next up, we have Linda Corral. Any last minute comment before we close off?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Neil Roman. Neil, any questions, comments, concerns?
Nothing to add.
No? Okay, that's that. Finally, we have Dewan Tarek. Okay, no, nothing for Dewan. We might have lost
Thank you very much.
Oh, there you go. You good to go, Dewan? I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you. Same to you. All right, and the last person we have as far as board members go, and I'm sorry if I missed anybody, I have Sandra Munoz last.
Yeah, well, just wishing everyone stay safe, stay healthy, like everyone said. Wear your mask, your gloves, practice social distancing, and we'll pull through this together. So just thanking everyone and thanking all of you. Thank you.
Certainly will. So, and again, guys, so really quickly, I think that handles all the board members who actually signed in via their PCs. And we have to acknowledge the community board members who are not with us as far as the viewing goes, but they are on the phone with us. I do know a couple of names. So oddly enough, we have a quorum. There's just as many people showed up to this meeting as would have showed up to a regular meeting. So kudos to us on that. Like that's amazing. I've seen other community boards that don't have half as many people. So we came through big time. So this is something that I'm likely going to forward to you all, and you do know I have this habit of speaking somewhat fast, so I will do my absolute best to read this. And this was sent to us by the Civilian Complaint Review Board. As much as I want to paraphrase, I'll do my best, but nonetheless, I will forward this, including everything that was given to us tonight, to all the board members, and maybe everybody in their mailings as of tomorrow. But really quickly, and I'll just read this, and we can likely close off if you permits it. Good afternoon. I would like to introduce myself as the Outreach Coordinator for the Civilian Complaint Review Board for the Borough of Queens. I'm interested in keeping up to date regarding information for New York Queens Community District Boards. As you may know, the CCRB is a city agency independent from New York Police Department that investigates and mediates complaints against NYPD officers in a neutral and unbiased manner. The CCRB investigates allegations of excessive force, abuse of authority, discourtesy, and offensive language. The goal of our outreach efforts is to inform New York City residents about the agency. Every year, we give presentations to educational institutions, religious institutions, libraries, government, and community organizations to offer information to community members, students, staff, and concerned parents about the agency services. Through interactive workshops, they will provide the following information: structure and authority of the CCRB, civilian rights and responsibilities during stop and frisk, how to file a complaint, highlight de-escalation, and explain the process of investigation mediation and the Right to Know Act. Almost finished, guys. I can also conduct remote online presentations and workshops. If our community board is holding remote online board meetings, we would like to request to participate. I'll put presentations 30 to 45 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. The CCRB office will be closed until further notice, but the agency will continue to process complaints of police misconduct remotely. Civilians may file a complaint online or by phone. For more information, the city's response, okay. So here goes the information we want, and again, I will share it with you all. Please feel free to email or call at 646-923-1056. And the email is mrighi@ccrb.nyc.gov, and the name is Marua Righi, and that's the outreach coordinator for the New York City CCRB. All right, but that will be forwarded to you all. That came to us last minute, and it was a favor they did ask us to do. So, Lou, it's entirely on you. Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to thank all of you for attending the meeting. All of you, the best advice I can say is try to be safe, and we'll be in touch, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything. Good to go. Be in touch.
All right.